So, Samana,
Yes.
what are your life plans? What are your life goals, and what do you like to achieve in next 5 years?
Okay. 5 years, huh? Maybe in 5 years, I would have made like 2 films, I guess. That's the plan. Make 2 films and hope it will be successful so that I can make the third one.
And what are the things that you are passionate about?
I'm passionate about many things, man. I'm passionate about writing books, movies especially, and I'm passionate about the world, and climate change is something that I'm very passionate about, and also like I think about it a lot, like how we just screwed up everything. Now we are just not ready to fix things, man. That's just fucked up.
So, according to you, what are the things that should be done to prevent the climate change?
What are the things that should be done? I'm not an expert, but
According to you, how the world leaders are not working on the climate change?
well, they're not working on it because obviously capitalism, my boy. They're using capitalism. Capitalism means money, man. It's all about money. There are many things that they will have to face laws.
So, why do you think the many organizations that are talking about the climate change and investing lots of money about the climate change, do you think that that doesn't come under the capitalism then?
Very good question. But you should see everything is business. I would say every business has to keep a certain amount of fund to the goodwill of people or something like that. In every country, I don't know about other countries, but in our country there is like a section of the money should go to the public because the business runs because of the public taxes.
So, what do you think about our country? We have International Solar Alliance. We are the one of the tropical countries which has the adequate amount of sunlight. We started the world's largest solar plant, world's largest floating solar plant as well, to produce the megawatts. And our plans are to establish the largest solar plant in India in Karnataka in the recent years, which will be operational soon.
Yeah, it will be operational very soon, but we are not doing enough. We have to still do it. Do you think why is Rajasthan is not being considered? Because it is mostly like you could say there's a lot of sunlight there, right? Because most of the time it's very sunny. So if you really want to make a difference, take the desert and use it as a medium to get the sunlight, man. Get the solar energy.
And what about the sandstorm that the Rajasthan faces? It will not be. Isn't it true that the solar plates will get covered by the sand?
Covered by the sand. Okay.
And the efficiency of the solar plate will just decrease.
I mean, it's an engineering problem. I think we can find solutions for that. If we can go to Mars and dig up the ground there, then obviously we can find a solution for this problem, sandstorm. I don't think the sandstorms are that much of a concern coming to Rajasthan. I don't think it occurs like frequently. It is like a rare occurrence. So,
but whenever occurs, the 1,000 crores of investment that a country does is a complete waste, isn't it?
How much of cyclone do we face in a single year in India?
10 to 12, but it's a massive damage though.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But compared to
Indian oceans have just started facing lots of
disturbance, right? There's a lot more disturbance. So like compared to that, this will be nothing, right? Yeah. So like that's the thing we can do.
Okay. So Somana, let's talk about how you have gotten interest in the film career. Why do you think that this is the path that you should choose?
Well,
there are many uncertainties that you face these days. The filmmakers, like the country from where you belong, where the people are emphasized on studies rather than filmmaking or some extracurricular activities. So, what are the things that drive you for the filmmaking?
Very good question actually. Like, I think you can run out of water, you can run out of oxygen, but you won't run out of stories. And like the world is filled with stories. You have a story, I have a story, and every human being that walks on this earth has a story to tell. I think I want to get into films because it will help me create a world. Like filmmaking is about creating a world and adding a meaning to it. So I want to be a filmmaker because I want to tell stories that matter, and I want to create a sort of a world that I imagined when I was a child. Like it gives me that creative freedom.
So, what kind of stories you like to make it? Like the things that you have imagined in child, maybe some childish stories. Who knows it?
Yeah, well,
Like what kind of stories do you like? Some
I think,
murder mystery
I think
or
I
what
want
type
to
of
make
genre you like?
stories for
Genre.
everyone. I want to make stories for everyone.
Okay.
I want to make stories that is horror.
Hmm.
I also want to make stories that are comedy, though I'm not very good at writing comedies.
Hmm.
First of all, I want to make stories that I believe in.
Hmm.
I think as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, the most important thing
Hmm.
is that you actually believe in the story you are telling.
Hmm.
If you don't believe in the story you are telling, then you can't expect the audience to actually believe in it and to have this connection to it. You have to have a certain amount of connection to the story before you're ready.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And how do you think that you will be able to do that? So what makes you expert in that field that you think you can do that?
I think I'll never be an expert. I think the way to do that is to learn continuously.
Hmm.
It's just to learn, like to keep learning, because learning and learning and learning. Well, I think if you tell a story that has a heart in it, people will connect to it.
Hmm.
And I want my stories to be famous. Like I want my films to be famous, but I don't want myself to be be that known person or someone who is famous.
So you want your stories to be in a limelight while you hidden somewhere else from the spotlight.
Yes, I don't like to be on the spotlight, or I don't like to be, you could say, like someone who has to be in the front of public all the
So
time.
what do you want to do with this interview? Would you like me to blur your face?
I would say keep it. Because you're my friend, right? So yeah, I'm comfortable doing this because you're my friend.
Okay. Somana, what do you think about the Indian cinemas, and how do you think that you're going to change the things that happens in Indian cinemas?
I don't think I'm big enough to change the entire landscape of Indian cinema, or I'm not that ambitious. I would say I want the next generation of filmmakers who are just starting out, who are kids, who are just imagining to be a filmmakers. I just want them to, believe that they can tell stories that are huge in scale and ambition with heart. I think you need not need $100, $1 million to make a good movie. I think with a right story, you can just make a good movie in the minimum of a month.
So do you think the Indian cinemas are missing something?
Very good question. We have lots, okay? We have lots of things, and we also have missed out on a lot of things. Not because we don't have enough skills or enough creative minds. It's just that the creative minds are not given the freedom to explore that
So
field.
according to you, what is the freedom? Freedom in Indian cinemas. What is freedom?
Freedom is telling stories that are unique, telling stories that actually has something to say in it. For example, Malayalam cinema, it is doing such a great job at presenting stories that are if you think about it, the stories are it is structured in such a way that it caters to the regional audience, but it can also bring in audience from the other states, even from other countries, because it has a universal theme. So that's how we should tackle this Indian cinema. We should do more of these things.
Okay, according to you, which cinema is the best?
There is nothing like best cinema.
Okay.
So Koreans.
There might be something that you might have thought of a role model, or you wanted to do something like that. The times when you were growing up, you might have think that these type of cinemas are the best.
Yeah.
And
actually,
how does that change your perspective for becoming an simply nerd to a proper cinema maker or something like a script writer?
I think the movie that actually made me think about be a filmmaker or someone who can tell stories, it was Avatar by James Cameron. I was I don't know, 10 or 11 when it came out. I watched it in the theater, and the moment I saw it, something happened to me. It's just like I came back, and the next day I just went around the school and told like I will make a movie that is like Avatar. I think that's where this idea, this passion was born inside me. That that fire was just.
So can you call yourself as a Hollywood movie influencer? Or you might have get influence from the Hollywood
I had
somewhere.
a lot of influence from Western cinema, especially Hollywood, while growing up. But I would say like, but now I have like influence from everywhere. I even watch movies from Korea, Japan, and I watch movies from like Russia and France, Hungary, and everywhere. So like, there is so much of influence on me. Like, you take so many things from so many filmmakers. Like every filmmaker is so different and versatile. There's an ocean of them, and you just pick them who you want to take into consideration when you're making a movie. Which style do you want to take? Take into rather. For example, the script I'm writing right now wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't watched Before Trilogy, which was by Richard Linklater. So like, he influenced this story, and for my next story, I might be influenced by David Fincher, or I might be influenced by Andrei Tarkovsky, who was a Russian filmmaker, a great one, or Stanley Kubrick, one of the greatest. So it all depends on which type of genre or which type of story I'm making, and how I want it to be made. Like you do get influence, but at the same time, it's important that you pave your own path, taking inspirations from those people. It's always important to have inspirations from people who came before you, because they have already done stuff you wanted to do, and you have to better that. That's all there is.
Okay. So Sona, what is your take about the censor board, that Indian censor board that I'm particularly talking about, and how do you think that it is just killing the freedom of Indian cinema?
I mean, now filmmakers are moving to like OTT platforms, right? Netflix, Amazon, Hulu.
But now the OTT platforms are also under the censor board.
But I don't think it will be as effective as the normal cinema one. It has a lot of restrictions, but when it comes to OTT, I think.
So do you agree that Indian cinema were getting killed or being choked by the censor board?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. If you have a strong enough story, you can do it without having heavy violence or heavy sexual content. Like I don't think it's important that only censor board is killing your story. And there are stories which require certain amount of violence or sex or whatever. But then there are also stories which requires none of this, and it can still be a very good movie.
So what is your take on the Indian cinemas making the old movies, the new one again, using the new heroes, and making the same film again and again, using the same songs, and nothing gets changed? Just the actors who just get changed.
I think that's just shows you like some of our filmmakers are just so out of clue or out of ideas that they're just churning up the old ones and making it a new one. That is stupid, I think. You don't need remakes, man. You really don't need remakes. Unless the previous movie was bad, but it had potential, then it requires a remake. Because there was a potential in that story, but it wasn't explored. But if that movie is already successful, already praised by the critics and audience alike, there is no reason you would want to remake it.
And what is your take on making remix, the song remix that they make it, adding extra song to the old songs, making it completely damaged, making racist songs like Beyonce Sharma Jayegi?
Oh yeah, like I think every country has a.
So what do you call it? Is that a freedom?
I think it is a freedom, but.
So you think that freedom should be given to the actors?
I mean, they have brought the rights, copyrights or whatever, the legal stuff, and they have done it. So they have the legal right to do it.
So why did they change it?
Huh?
So why did they change it if they were legally correct?
I mean, I'm telling you, like, they changed it because they thought this kind of stuff will attract the audience. But people are hating it. From what I know, people are hating these remakes. They don't want remakes, man. Like, nobody wants remakes. Everyone just wants new stories and new visions. That's what filmmaking is about. I mean,
but these films are really hit because all of these films was more than 100 crores. That the first movie I think that I remember got 100 crores was the best movie, The Ghazni, made by the Amir Khan.
Yeah, there was a remake of Memento by Christopher Nolan, I think. Yeah, like I mean, if you're talking about movies that are like from foreign movies that have been remade in India so that it can cater to the Indian audience, then that is acceptable, because a lot of people are, you could say, they are not able to access these films, but now you're making it here in our country to our audience that is structured based on our culture. Well, if the story is good enough and they are executing enough, I have no problem in that case. But making the old ones from the same in this era, that does not make me happy. As someone who likes to be, like make stories that are fresh and new ideas.
And what do you think about the new ideas that the movie franchise make? Like Houseful 1, Houseful 2, Houseful 3, all that.
I mean,
Houseful franchise. You have Dabangg franchise.
There is nothing like, at least Dabangg,
they have the new ideas, but
I think Dabangg, at least Dabangg, when it comes to that, each one has some sort of connection with the previous ones. When it comes to movies like Houseful 2, okay, they have no connections with the previous movie. They're just taking the name and adding the two, so that it attracts the audience, because the last one was good, this one might be good too. So, like, it's very unfortunate, whatever it is.
And what is your take on the action scenes that these movies include? Like the dialogue delivery that you see, or the kind of
The
influence that they make on the people?
Or what do you say, like
The people.
exploding and those kind of stuff. I think
The kind of
there is a
heroism.
place-
The
there
kind
is a
of.
place for those kind of movies too. I wouldn't say like everything should be artistic or art house.
But,
There is a
not-
thin line. There is a thin line, okay? Like where the movies completely gets stupid and some sort of stupidity is allowed. I think movies should be also entertaining for people.
So, but these movies become sometimes less entertaining and more of like mess, where the wrong action scenes sometimes.
I think that is
Just become disgusting,
either because the person handling the movie, he has just thought like, I would do anything and the audience will accept. In that, if you think like that and lose control over your own movie, then that happens. Or it's just studio just asking to make movies that are like overblown and overexploit you for the reason of money. People think, I mean, there is an audience for that. We have a very unstructured audience when it comes to India.
But when all the movies are made like same way, when the heroes are the supreme leaders, nobody can beat them, or the things like sometimes becomes unethical when something hero does, it is said to be good, like approaching a girl. When hero does it, that seems to be a
I mean,
that seems to be good,
like
while a villain, when villain does it seems to be a stalking, or seems to be some rape kind of attempt.
I mean, if you look at our old movies, there was a lot of scenes of stalking. And basically, if you take that into now, if you see that now, it looks like sexual harassment, right?
Yep.
It is not. It is not right. It's like no way it's right, whatever they did. But it belonged to an era, I think, where our audience were not that enlightened. I would say, if that's the word, enlightened or knowledgeable enough to see that that was acceptable back then, but not now. But some movies, some filmmakers are even doing it right now, which is not right. Because as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, you should evolve with the time, and you should, whatever happened has happened, but you shouldn't go back to it. Instead, that you should make things to correct it
And
make sure that
when these things rise, actually, when the things like character depth. When Kabir Singh movie was launched, I remember that there was a scene when he slapped the girl. So that scene was very outrageous in India. So, but that was just a character depth and was nothing more. But that still included many sections from the women said that this is a harassment that is done to the women. What is your take on that?
Very, very good question, actually. I mean, I haven't watched Kabir Singh, to be honest, but I have followed the controversy. I don't know the entire story, but I would tell that film is fiction, man, and there are a lot of scenes where women are harassed or whatever. There are a lot of rape scenes and sex scenes or whatever. But if it entirely depends on what kind of message do you want to pass on to the audience. Like you said, like in Kabir Singh, he slaps the girl. Why does he slap a girl? Slaps the girl. Like whatever the reason might be, there is no, like, you shouldn't get physical with anyone. That's my thing, man. In real life, it's a movie, you take it as a fiction and you just leave it. You just don't carry it to the reality. But if a person sees that and he thinks this is the right thing to do, then I don't think it's the fault of a filmmaker. But if the filmmaker actually says that, oh, in his interviews, like, this is the right thing to do, this is the common thing to do, then that filmmaker is like, he's the one that shows who
So
he is.
what is your take when the directors say that this is how the script is being written and we should have the freedom on this?
Yeah, that I agree, because art is no democracy, my man. Like, you can make any stories you want.
So that means the
At the
people
end
who
of
are
the day, at the end of the day, people watch it, and each person has his own perspective. No matter how fucked up it is in the end, it is his perspective. So, like, filmmakers do what they do, but it's about the audience. They should be smart enough to see what is right and see what is wrong. And as a filmmaker, I will make a movie like that is about a serial killer, man. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm encouraging my audience to become